Welcome to all devotees. Now we start today's Bhagavatam class. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tata Jayamudiret Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Nashtiki. Hare Krishna Dandat Pranam. Today we continue in Srimad Bhagwatam Canto 11 chapter 19 shloka number 25 to 35. यदा आत्मनि अर्पितं चित्तं शान्तं सत्व उपबृहितं धर्मं ज्ञानं स्वैराग्यम् ऐश्वर्यं च विपद्यते यत् अर्पितं तत् विकल्पे इन्द्रिये त्रिधावति रजः बलं च आसत्निष्ठं चित्तं विद्धि विपर्ययम् धर्म मद्भक्ति कृत प्रोक्त ज्ञानं च एकात्म्य दर्शनम गुणेषु असंग वैराग्यम ऐश्वर्यं च अणिमा आदय श्री उद्धवाच यमा कतिविध प्रोक्त नियम व ऐकर्षण कः शमः कः दमा कृष्ण का तितिक्षा धृति प्रभो कः त्याग किं धनं च इष्टम् किम दानम किम तपः शौर्यम किम सत्यम उच्यते क त्याग किम धनम च इष्टम क यज्ञ का च दक्षिणा पुंस किम स्वित बलम श्रीमन भग लाभ च केशव का विद्या हरि पराका श्री किम सुखम दुखम एव च कः पंडित कः च मूर्ख कः पंथा उत्पत्थ च कः कः स्वर्ग नरकः कः सीत कः बंधु उत किम गृहम कः आड्य कः दरिद्र वा कृपण कः ईश्वर एतान् प्रश्नान् मम ब्रूहि विपरीतान् च सत्पते श्री भगवान उवाच ऐसा सत्यम अस्तेयम असंगरि असंचय आस्तिक्यम ब्रह्मचर्यम च मौनम स्थैर्यं क्षम अभयम शौचम जप तप होम श्रद्धा आतिथ्यम अर्चनम तीर्थाटनम पर अर्थ इहा तुष्टि आचार्य सेवनम यमास नियमा उभयो द्वादश स्मृता पुंसान उपासिता तात यथा कामम ध्वन्ति. Translation and purport by the Srila Prabhupada, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When one's peaceful consciousness strengthened by the mode of goodness is fixed on the personality of Godhead, one achieves religiosity, knowledge, detachment, and opulence. When consciousness is fixed on the material body, home and other similar objects of sense gratification, one spends his life chasing after material objects with the help of the senses. Consciousness, thus powerfully affected by the mode of passion, become dedicated to the impermanent thing, and in this way irreligion, ignorance, attachment, and wretchedness arise. Actual religious principles are stated to be those that lead one to my devotional service. Real knowledge is the awareness that reveals my all-pervading presence. Detachment is complete disinterest in the objects of material sense gratification, and opulence is the eight mystic perfection, such as anima siddhi. Sri Uddhava said, my dear Lord Krishna, O chastiser of the enemies, please tell me how many types of disciplinary regulations and regular daily duties there are also. My Lord, tell me what is mental equilibrium, what is self-control, and what is the actual meaning of tolerance and steadiness. What are charity, austerity, and heroism, and how are reality and truth to be described? What is renunciation and what is wealth? what is desirable, what is sacrifice, and what is religious remuneration. My dear Keshav, O most fortunate one, how am I to understand the strength, opulence, and profit of a particular person? What is the best education, and what is the actual humility, and what is real beauty? What are happiness and unhappiness? Who is Lord and who is a fool? What are the true and the false path in life? And what are heaven and hell? Who is indeed a true friend, and what is one's real home? Who is a rich man, and who is a pure man? Who is wretched, and who is an actual controller? O Lord of the devotees, kindly explain these matters to me along with their opposites. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, non-violence, truthfulness, not coveting or stealing the property of others, detachment, humility, freedom from possessiveness, trust in the principle of religion, celibacy, silence, steadiness, forgiveness, and fearlessness are the 12 primary disciplinary principles. Internal cleanliness, external cleanliness, chanting the holy name of the Lord, austerity, sacrifice, faith, hospitality, worship of me, visiting holy places, acting and desiring only for the supreme interest, satisfaction and service to the spiritual master are the 12 elements of regular prescribed duty. These 24 elements bestow all desired benediction upon those who are devoted them. Absorbing the intelligent in me constitute mental equilibrium and complete discipline of the senses is self control. Tolerance means patiently enduring unhappiness, and steadiness occurs when one occurs the tongue and genital. The great charity is to give up all aggression toward others, and renunciation of lust is, which shloka this is? These shloka are nothing. 33 and 35 is the Supreme Personality of God had said, non-violence, truthfulness, not coveting or stealing the property of other, detachment, humility, freedom from possessiveness, trust in the principles of religion, celibacy, silence, steadiness, forgiveness, and fearlessness are the 12 primary disciplinary principles. Internal cleanliness, external cleanliness, chanting the holy name of the Lord, austerity, sacrifice, faith, hospitality, worship of me, visiting holy places, acting and desiring only for the supreme interest, satisfaction, and service to the spiritual master are the 12 elements of regular prescribed duties. These 24 elements bestow all desired benediction upon those persons who devoted, cultivate, repeated. Now, purport. A pure duty becomes peaceful, shant by desiring everything for the service of the Lord and nothing of for himself. He is strengthened by the transcendental or purified mode of goodness and thus achieves the supreme religious principle of directly serving the Lord. He also achieves jnana or knowledge of the Lord's form and his own spiritual body, detachment from material piety and sin, and the opulences of the spiritual world. One who is not a pure devotee of the Lord, however, but whose devotion is mixed with a fascination for mystic knowledge, is strengthened by the material mode of goodness. Through his meditation on the Lord, he achieves the lesser results of dharma, piety in the mode of goodness, and then knowledge of the spirit and matter, and vairagya, detachment from the lower modes of nature. Ultimately, one should be a pure devotee of the Lord, since even the best material world has to offer is the most significant compared to the kingdom of God. In the previous verse, Lord Krishna explained the auspicious results of fixing the mind in him. And now the opposite is explained. Rajasvalam indicates that Once a passion grows so strong that one commits sinful activities and reaps all types of misfortune. Although materialistic people are blind to their impending wretchedness, one can confirm by all types of evidence, namely Vedic injunctions, direct observation, traditional wisdom, and inductive logic, that the result of violating the laws of God is disastrous. The Supreme Lord is the perfect knowledge. Thus, one who has been delivered from ignorance automatically engages in the devotional service of the Lord and is called religious. One who becomes detached from the three modes of material nature and the gratificatory object they produce is considered to be situated in detachment. The eight mystic yoga perfection described previously by the Lord to Dhamma constitute material power or opulence in the highest degree. All of the items mentioned in these 5 verses are defined in different ways, cultures, and the The Supreme Lord is perfect knowledge. Thus, one who has been delivered from ignorance automatically engages in the devotional service of the Lord and is called religious. One who becomes detached from the three modes of material nature and the gratificatory object they produce is considered to be situated in detachment. The eight yoga perfections described previously by the Lord to Dhamma constitute material power or opulence in the highest degree. All of the items mentioned in these 5 verses are defined in different ways by different cultures and societies throughout the world. Therefore, Sri Uddhava is directly approaching the Supreme Authority, Lord Krishna, to obtain the standard definition for this universal aspect of civilized life. Thus, end the purport. Now, prayers. ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवान् च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं साव दूतम परिजन सहितम कृष्ण चैतन्य देवम श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांच नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण दंडवत प्रणाम. Now we today try to understand Srimad Bhagwatam Canto 11 chapter 19, the perfection of spiritual knowledge, from shloka 25 to 35. In these shlokas, Uddhava directly asking to whom? Krishna. What about? He asking about the 24 questions, and then his question, Krishna giving the answers out of the three shloka. In three shlokas, answer we are trying to understand. Ahead also, the answers given by the Krishna we will try to understand from tomorrow. most example, most important point here: who is rich, who is poor, who is uh, who is capable of this bhakti, or who is or disciplinary. And again he asking question of 12 disciplinary regulations, and 12 questions are asking which are the in mental regular daily duties, which are regular daily duties, like these 24 questions of aspects he is asking. Prabhuji will tell you in detail. Vancha kalpatarubhecha kripa sindhubheva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Please forgive me, there seems to be some connectivity issue. So let us start with the discussions from where Mataji has left behind. So if you see these shlokas clearly, the very first and important aspect which comes is, how do we get the four things which are most important? That is religiosity, knowledge, detachment, and opulence. So for that, Krishna has said that we need to have peaceful consciousness. And secondly, that peaceful consciousness has to be strengthened by the mode of goodness. And then thirdly, it has to be fixed on the Supreme Personality of God. So this is a three-step process which Krishna is explaining to us for achieving religiosity, knowledge, detachment, and opulence. And exactly what happens is, we are doing exactly reverse. So we are running after temporary and impermanent things, because the consciousness is fixed on material body, maybe home, or the other objects of sense gratification. So throughout the life, we are chasing material objects. And the consciousness, because of this mode of passion, becomes dedicated to these temporary aspects. And this results in the opposite four things. Which are those? Irreligion, ignorance, attachment, and wretchedness. Now, the question arises, if this is what is happening, and religiosity is one of the important aspects to be achieved, so what are the religious principles? So Krishna also responds to it, that religious principles are stated to be those that lead one to Krishna's service. And real knowledge is awareness, which reveals all pervading presence of Krishna. Detachment is complete disinterest in the objects of the material sense gratification. And opulence is the 8 mystic perfections, which you have seen in the previous to previous chapter. Now, with all this explanation, Uddhava became, what I'll say, more enthusiastic to know more. And so he started asking, so are there any disciplinary regulations? Is there any regular daily duties to be done? What about this mental equilibrium? What is self-control? You have talked about titikshasva, that is tolerance. So what is the actual meaning of tolerance and steadfastness? You have also mentioned that we should do charity. So what is charity? What is austerity? What is heroism? So whatever Krishna has been telling till now, Uddhava now wants to learn more about it in detail. And so he keeps on asking. Even for humility, he is asking, what is actual humility? And now, because here Krishna has used the word wretched, he is asking who is wretched and who is actual controller. And Uddhava, just like Krishna, is also asking, tell me all this along with their opposites. So indirectly, Uddhava is now asking the whole science of how to live life, why to live life, and actually how to live a life. So first leave is L-I-V-E, the second leave is L-E-V-E. Now Krishna was very happy with these questions and he starts responding to it. And he tells all the principles, the 12 primary disciplinary principles is first thing which he talks. So what are those 12? Very easy to remember. First is NTN, non-violence, truthfulness, not coveting or stealing the property of others. Then you get DHF, detachment, humility, freedom from possessiveness. Then again you have TCS, trust in principles of religion, celibacy, and silence. And then you have SFF, steadfastness, forgiveness, fearlessness. So these are the primary disciplinary principles is what Krishna is talking about. And because these are primary disciplinary principles, so similarly there are going to be 12 elements of regular prescribed duties. So what are the regular prescribed duties which we are supposed to do? Again, it is very easy to remember. IEC, internal cleanliness, external cleanliness, chanting the holy names of the Lord, first three. Then you have got ASF, austerity, sacrifice, faith. Then you have HWV, that is hospitality, worship of Krishna, and visiting holy places. And finally, you again have ASS, that is acting and desiring only for supreme interest, satisfaction, and service to spiritual master. So these 24, when we start doing it, following it, then all the desired benedictions are achieved by everyone. So this is the practical science which Krishna is explaining to Uddhava, and through Uddhava, we are very lucky to understand these practical aspects. And then in the shloka which Mataji read, whose purport is a lot big, so I had not taken it today. He is going to explain more details. How we should absorb the intelligence in Krishna. So that is something.
That shloka is not taking.
Yeah, mental equilibrium. So all those aspects will be coming up further.
Hare Krishna.
So right now what is important to understand is up to this point, let us develop this 12 plus 12 actual activities and go back home successfully, back to Godhead. Hare Krishna. Now we'll start the chanting session. Cheto Darp